Hi, my name is Death, and beside me is the one and only Binja Nirvana. How are you today, Binja?
Doing great. It's an honor to be here. I love everybody in the wrestling community, so definitely with the UHW, it's an honor to be here.
Well, it is wonderful to be sitting beside you. I'm happy to be doing the recap here with you. So let's get this ball on the roll. Our first match that we had was the Black Panther Rosalind, who took on Jazir, and it was the opening match for the show. Jazir tried to go for a clothesline earlier, again, but Rosalind kept countering her, and she got her into an arm drag. And from there, it truly just went back and forth. Rosa was using her powerful kicks to take down Jazza, or I'm just gonna call her Jazz. and Jazz was being technical with Rosa and setting her up and grappling her with all different type of grappling moves. However, Rosa was able to get the upper hand on her when Jazir had tried to do a super kick on Rosa, but Rosa countered it with her Panther Bomb for the win. So that was one interesting way to start the show.
Definitely an interesting way. Rosalind is definitely a force to be reckoned with that Panther Bomb. So it's pretty much something that you're going to have, everybody has to take a look at, especially the women's champion, because definitely Rosalind could be coming after her. But, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, our second match was for the actual UHW Women's Championship. Anarchy Fang, also known as Lesbian Friend to Me, defended her title against Jessie Darkwatch. It was a teacher versus student match for the biggest prize in the women's division in UHW. Anarchy started off with a little bit of trash talk, obviously trying to get into Jessie's head, and then trying to be going for a submission move to try to catch her off guard. But Jessie would counter a little bit with that and even go for a rage combo early. But Anarchy, being the women's champion, was one step ahead and went back to taking control. You know, she was setting her up in the corner, but Jessie, though, knowing what was happening, caught her by surprise with a flying clothesline and would get Anarchy in the court herself. And ended Jessie would hope to win the women's championship, but Anarchy, being the women's champion, came back with an inverted backbreaker and then put Jessie in the last breath to retain the title.
You were there, you saw just the way it was like you said, Benja. It was really teacher versus student. Now these two women just they put out their skills. I mean, even though Jessie did not win, she did put on a one heck of a show.
Well, I mean, Anarchy is somebody to be reckoned with. Anarchy is pretty much a walking time bomb. Anytime you piss her off, that time bomb just goes off and you're caught in the explosion. Especially when she's all jacked up on Mountain Dew, it's even worse.
Well, now as for our third match, that was Izzy Kessel was going up against the Black Rose Tara Duffield. Izzy was holding her neck when she made it to the ring because of her, I guess her, what do you call it, bond with the twin thing, whatever it's called. Can't think of it right now, the word. Um, with her against, anyways, the bond connection that she has with her twin, Toxic Fang, who was, we found out earlier, or during the show that, I guess, during the training, Toxic had an accident and was rushed to the hospital with a neck injury. And therefore, for the entire time in that the match, Izzy was holding her neck. I guess she was sharing her sympathy bonds for her twin, and so that took a toll on her during the match. But that did not stop her from taking on Terra. Terra was one of the major parts of the match that was constantly doing low blows to Izzy, and Terra kept giving each one right back to her. And Izzy ended up was about to give Terra the passive raver plunge,
I think it's pronounced
not familiar with it.
Passaic.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Passaic. But then she saw Trisha and Wolfie on the stage on the ramp heading towards the ring, and Trisha came down, just to show support with Wolfie for Izzy, and Izzy let go of Tara and walked over, and Izzy was still holding her neck, and this gave Tara the opportunity to get the upper hand on Izzy. She put her in the Rose Thorn, and she got the victory over Izzy because of that little distraction. But Trisha and Wolfie took Izzy backstage after that, so we don't really know what happened when they went backstage, but it wasn't, they weren't fighting.
Well, I got to tell you this. It's definitely going to be something that's very volatile, especially with the relationship between Izzy and Wolfie Kessel basically on the fritz right now. It's pretty much something that's going to be very hostile, especially in the coming weeks here at UHW. But moving on, ladies and gentlemen, our main event actually involved one person in that party, and that would be Wolfie Kessel going up against Tommy McGregor. Tommy is pretty much a well-known submission specialist, and Wolfie's arm was not 100% in that match. Therefore, that was the main focus of Tommy McGregor. Wolfie fought back with some moves, but Tommy would go back on that injured arm of Wolfie Kessel, and every move Tommy would do would focus on that arm. Wolfie would even do moves that would even hurt his arm even more, even not even taking his body into account. And at some point in the match, though, Izzy would come down to the ring with Trisha. Wolfie saw her, but continued the match anyway. And at the end of the match, Tommy would have Wolfie in the crossface, focusing on that arm once again. Wolfie, though, mustered the strength when Izzy was calling to him, even moving in that position to cause more pain. He would get to the ropes, and Tommy would have no choice but to let go. Tommy charged after him, but Wolfie hit him with a spear. And after hitting Tommy with a high knee, Wolfie would wait for Tommy to get up and hit him with the scavenger and claim victory to retain his title. After the match, Izzy would tell Wolfie that Anarchy would help block the bond between Toxic to also forgive her and just wanted to go home. Wolfie accepted the apology and reunited with Izzy, much to the delight of everyone in that arena. So it's pretty much a happy ending to Havoc, but the question is, Death, will that continue here at UHW tonight?
We don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So, what would happen now that Izzy has finally blocked off the chaos? Who will Anarchy face to take down? And find out all that, these questions and all the answers to these questions and more. I mean, just come to the show, people. UHW present DNA.
Yes, that and much more actually happening tonight at UHW DNA. You cannot miss it. Be there.